So what is that? Is that a tactical thing? Are they not being coached? Are they not working on it? Or because you don't see it as the players aren't good enough to do that?
I don't see it, bro. They're not working on it. They're not working on it. What you do is get people out wide and drop in the hole. But today, to me today, let's talk about the coaches and the manager. You got wrong on the formation. You got the tactics wrong. You got the personnel wrong. Now, on the personnel, I understand that. What we know is that our first 11. Our first 11, when they start and we play the 4-3-3, we play the 4-3-3. We start with up tempo and we got energy, and then we go up. We're doing something we're worrying chances. Yeah, we're worrying the other team. We're getting other teams to look behind them and go, we can't.
Yeah, but do you see the tactical naivety you're talking about? In terms of Lampard, what he had today, 5 at the back, it doesn't work for you. You go play what you're good at, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And that is what I'm on about in terms of key moments, top tier quality. I said to you, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer won't take us more than what we are right now. Because what he did, was shocking today. The system, the personnel, I understand that. We're tired, we have certain moments. But did you not change your system that you've been doing so well for I reckon the large part of since the restart? You don't change it. For me, it was shocking. It threw the players on the bus. For me, it threw the players on the bus today. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer threw the players on the bus today because it's almost a death trap. I call it a death trap today. That 5 at the back was a death trap. Matic, for me, does not work in a 2. In a 2 with Fred and Matic, does not work at all. He got outnumbered in there. The press on him. I'm telling you now, mate, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, death trap to the players
today. Wan-Bissaka. Since the restart,
shocking. You know what, mate? Something's going wrong with Wan-Bissaka. I'm telling you, when everything's bad at the back, then you become bad. That's what I'm on about. Now, when I was telling you about people targeting Harry Maguire, the whole defense is bad. You cannot look at Harry Maguire and say, "Listen, he's 85 million. I understand he's 85 million."
No, but you can't because he's.
What I'm about? Look at you. No, hear me.
He's 85 million. When he's commanding,
Are you hearing me out? Listen to me, When you've got Lindelof, I understand Lindelof is good in moments as squad, but I've always said he's a squad player. Brandon Williams is coming to a system, in a 5 at the back system, Today, look clueless. Wan-Bissaka today on the ball, on a right wing back position, again, looked awful today. But when you've got a calamity, and when you've got David De Gea, whose mistakes, you probably always think he's going to mistake him. Everything is called calamity. And that's why I said it to you. Don't judge Harry Maguire, until he's got a top-class centre-back alongside him. Don't judge him. Today, for most of the larger parts of the game,
he made a lot of individual mistakes.
No. Parts of the game today.
Is one thing, getting the right players in. We do look like we've got a good sort of setup there now. You can go on about the formation, which wasn't right for me, but the main thing now is the mentality of this lot of players. This is the first test that we've come up with, the first test we've come up against now since we've had this brilliant run. We've looked unbeatable. We've looked invincible going forward over the last 3 or 4 months. And now this is the ultimate test. It's come at a pivotal stage of the season. Never mind how we're feeling. That's Chelsea going in with their tails up to the Liverpool game. So this all comes down to now is this week. What's the reaction like from this bunch of players this week? How are we going to react to being absolutely battered, outplayed, outfought, outrun? We played that game from the first minute, pretty much like Ollie called it in his press conference. 2 days behind Chelsea. That's exactly this formation before. We didn't need to play it today, but there should have been no excuse for how we played today, even if we did change shape or change faces. Let's get into the players and the mistakes and the clear mistakes. Do you know what? I had a problem with Harry Maguire staying on the pitch, mate. When he takes that hit from Bailly, you know what? Side of the temple, and he just looked lost. Ever from that moment, he looked lost on the pitch, mate. He was all over the place.
Shocking.
And you know what? It's when the player's got a bandage on his head, it says something, mate. It says that you've been, and he will run through a brick wall for you, but someone there has to take authority and say, look, no, there's a chance here that this could seriously hamper us.
He probably will have said, we're bringing Dan James in. We've still got to give ourselves our best chance of winning, and we're going to keep the player on the field who's going to help us to do that. If they've said that, they want sacking. Because Marcus Rashford is not half the player Anthony Martial is. Not half. And I said it on Twitter. As soon as the team came out, we haven't got anybody to hold the ball up. We're just going to be completely under the cosh throughout the game, which we were. We need players who have got strength, who can get the ball down and hold it and let people get up the pitch. Rashford, in the first half, I put on Twitter, and there's people slagging me on Twitter, there'll be people slagging me on here tonight. I said, when Dan James got subbed, I put on Twitter, he was not the worst of our forwards. We only played with 2 forwards. The worst forward was Marcus Rashford.
What did Dan James do? What did he do then? What did he do?
Well, I've just told you. He got hold of the ball a couple of times. He won a couple. Just as he got took off, he won a free kick in a dangerous position. I know you sort of like laughing. You might score for him now.
No, I'm not laughing at that. I just feel like Dan James did what Dan James does, which is always look to get in behind, and we couldn't do it because Chelsea were very rigid and didn't get caught. So he was null and void. Rashford was null and void because, like you said, he's not like Martial.
Let's move on to a different subject, but I'll leave it at this. I'll look at it in the morning. I'm going to study it with a fine-tooth comb, and I'll be amazed if I'm not convinced that Dan James had a miles better game than Marcus Rashford. Getting back to what you said, I agree with you. It's not completely the player's fault.
I'm one to make definite statements. For me, when the consistency is there. So the consistency of him making mistakes is there. And so for me, my definite statement is we need to look elsewhere from David De Gea. Now, David De Gea might be a great shot stopper, even though his mistakes have been, including him making bad mistakes in stopping shots. But regardless of that, playing the ball, like, he's not going to fit into Ole's system for me. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to have a goalkeeper like Manchester City, like Liverpool do, where they can give it into him and he can play it in tight circumstances. And
but the thing that frustrated me, I've said I can take losing. Like, I can hopefully take we lost the game today, that's fine. But losing the way we did, ball rolling under people's feet, like the basics, we just didn't do that today. Defensively, we were all over the shop. I know De Gea obviously is coming to criticism, and rightly so. But even like the Williams pass, for example, for the second goal, De Gea should have saved it. The first goal, Williams and Matic have let Azpilicueta just run and have a free cross into the box. We know what Giroud can do. He's a clever striker. I think he's an underrated striker. Lindelof's got the wrong side of him. It's just a catalogue of errors. And I remember saying to you at the end of my fan coming against Palace, I said, if we play like this, if we give the ball away like we have done against Palace against a better team, we'll be punished. And I think
that's another conversation.
Listen, I'll start with De Gea. You said literally the last show we did, you said he was reluctant to even say he's declining. You got there in the end, but you said it. Yeah. He's gone on again to make another massive mistake, not just one, a few. What?
De Gea's like that uncle, that you don't want in your cousin's life, innit? But then you love him as an uncle. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's how it's feeling for me. It's like the care right now, you're not taking proper care. Like, I feel like he's not looking after my cousin properly. Do you know what I mean? When it's not even banter or nothing. I'm proper looking at the situation and I'm like, I'm trying to overlook stuff, because you love this player and he's given us so many years. So I want to replay the loyalty that he's shown to us.